Welcome to everyone. In our previous class, we have discussed about the types of points. So basically, we have discussed about interval, neighborhood and interior point. Today we shall going to discuss about some other types of points. So let's start. Now, our first discussion is about limit point. So, what is a limit point and limit point of what? So, in real number system, let x be any arbitrary real number and s be any subset of r. Then what happens? A real number or x is said to be a limit point of s if every neighborhood nx of x contains a point of s other than x, or in other words, x is said to be a limit point of s if for all or for every, symbolically written in this way. So if for all deleted neighborhood of x contains a point of s. So just for recap, a neighborhood nx is nothing but delta neighborhood. For delta greater than 0, that is here, delta is a positive length or delta is a positive real number. So for delta greater than 0, nx delta is nothing but the open interval x minus delta, x plus delta, and n dash x delta, this means nx delta minus this singleton x, that is x minus delta, x plus delta minus singleton x. So see, if this is real line, two symbols. Okay, now if this is x, this is x minus delta, this is x plus delta. So this total is nx delta, and this n dash x delta, this can be written as the union of these two open intervals. Okay, so that we can omit this point x. So this is nothing but x minus delta x open interval union x comma x plus delta open interval. Okay, so now coming to the example of limit point. So our first example is, suppose S is the open interval AB. So I take the specific values of A and B to visualize the fact. So I am taking 0, 1 open interval, right? Then suppose this is 0, this is 1. Then we have to first check that any point of S is a limit point of S or not. So take x, any arbitrary point of S. Then see this distance from between 0 and 1, that is mod of x minus 0, and the distance between x and 1, that is mod of x minus 1. Suppose delta 1 is this and delta 2 is this. Now see, delta 1 is the minimum distance between these two. So delta is equal to minimum of delta 1 and delta 2, and here we can see that the value of delta will be delta 1 as delta 1 is minimum. So Now why I am doing this? To check that, or to become a limit point, x will be a limit point of S if for every neighborhood of x contains a point of the set S other than x. So first, this is our next delta neighborhood. For all delta greater than 0, we have to check that this neighborhood contains a point of S other than x. So first, now we are checking this by taking different values of delta. Our first value of delta will be this minimum length. That is, suppose this is our delta length. So this is our first in delta 1x, right? So see, in this case, obviously this neighborhood entirely contains this neighborhood contains the member of S, and also this neighborhood contains a point of S other than x, right? So now if we increase the value of delta, that is, if now this is our delta neighborhood, suppose this is our next try, then we can see that this portion is outside of S, right? So because this is 0 1, our S set, and this portion is outside of set S. But don't worry, because in this section, this neighborhood in suppose delta 2 x, this neighborhood, okay, delta 3, this neighborhood contains a point of S because this section is inside S. So this neighborhood contains a point of S other than x, right? So in this way, if we increase the value of delta, and suppose this is very large value of delta, in this case also we can see that this neighborhood also contains this set, entire set S. So obviously this neighborhood contains a point of S other than x. So in this way, for any value of delta, every delta neighborhood of x contains a point of S other than x. So each and every member of S is a limit point of S, because x is an arbitrary point. So we have checked. Next, we check that two endpoints, that is 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 are limit point of S or not. This is our next checking. This is 0, this is 1. Now similarly, this is S. Now take any neighborhood, any delta neighborhood of 1. Then we can see this left section contains the point of S. So obviously this neighborhood, suppose this is N1 delta 1. Then this neighborhood contains a point of S other than 1. Similarly, if we increase the value of delta, then we can see that for all value delta, every delta neighborhood of 1 contains a point of S other than 1. So 1 is a limit point of S. Similarly, in case of 0, by the similar argument, 0 is a limit point of S. So in case of open interval 0 1, every member of this set is a limit point, along with two endpoints are limit points of S. Next, we are going to check that the outsider point, that is, this is 0, this is 1, and this is our set S. Now we have to check that this point, the right in the right section of 1 and in the left section of 0, in these two sections there are any limit point of S. Are there any limit point of S? That is, in these two sections, can we get any limit point of S? So, at first we check the right portion. Suppose this is x, then this distance is mod of x minus 1. Suppose this is delta distance, right? So, if we take this neighborhood in x, suppose delta 5, where delta 5 is less than delta, this distance, delta 5 is less than this distance, then we can see that this neighborhood contains no point of S. So, x is not a limit point of S. Similarly, in the left portion of 0, suppose this is any arbitrary point y, then again we see that suppose this is our delta 2 distance, the distance between y and 0, that is mod of y minus 0, this is delta 2. Then if we take this interval of y, suppose this is delta 7. So, where delta 7 is less than this delta 2, this distance. So, if we take the length of this neighborhood, that is this, if delta 7 is less distance than delta 2, then we can see that this neighborhood contains no point of S. So, here in the left portion there is no limit point of S. So, S has only limit points which is inside S and the two end points. For any open interval this holds. Now, our next example is if S is a closed interval 0, 1 or AB, closed interval AB, whatever. So, in this case, similar reason, each and every member of S is a limit point of S and no member of the outside of this set is not a limit point of S. So, this is done. Our next example is if S is a finite set 1, 2, 3, okay, set consisting 3 elements, then what happens? So, suppose this is 1, 2 and 3 and the distance between 1, 2 is 1, 2, 3 is 1. So, suppose we are checking that 1 is a limit point of S or not. So, if we take such delta neighborhood of 1 where delta is less than 1, right? Why 1? Because this distance is 1. So, if delta is less than 1, then this neighborhood contains no point of S, right? So, it does not contain 2, 3 and in this case N1 delta contains no point of S other than 1. Therefore, here 1 is not a limit point of S. Similarly, 2 and 3 is not a limit point of S. In case of 2, we get this neighborhood which contains no point of S other than 2, and for 3 this also. So, this. So, see, in case of finite set, there is a gap between any two member of this set, and this gap caused the fact that this, in case of finite set, the points are not a limit point of S. Similarly, in case of N and Z, this happens. So N is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Z is also like that, along with the negation of all natural numbers with 0. So in this case also we can get in this way. Suppose this is 1, this is 2, so there is a gap, right? So we can calculate the distance between any 2 points, and since there is a gap, so this is 0, right? In case of Z, I am telling you. In case of natural number, this is also true. So in this case we get this type of neighborhood which contains no point of this set other than that point 1. So 1 is not a limit point of this set, and so on for the other points. So for finite set N, Z, these sets have no limit point. Now our next example, example 4. So this is set of all rational numbers. Suppose S is this, then so we know that if R1 and R2 be two distinct rational numbers, then they are also real numbers. So by density property of R between two distinct real numbers, there are infinitely many rational numbers as well as there are infinitely many irrational numbers, right? So there are infinitely many rationals and as well as irrational numbers. Now we have to check that any arbitrary rational number is a limit point of S or not. Suppose this is R, any arbitrary rational number, R is a rational number, then R is a limit point or not. So for all delta greater than 0, any delta neighborhood in R delta, this contains rational number other than R. Why? Because in between this is R minus delta and this is R plus delta, and this R minus delta and R plus delta, these two are real numbers, and between these two real numbers, by density property of R, there are infinitely many rational numbers as well as irrational numbers. So we get rational number, right? Because S is the set of all rational numbers. So we can say that NR delta contains infinitely many rational numbers other than R. So we just need a rational number other than R. So obviously, therefore for any delta greater than 0, every delta neighborhood of R contains a rational number other than R. Therefore R is a limit point of S. So any rational number is a limit point of Q, that is set of all rational numbers. Now suppose this is any irrational number, that is the point outside of this set, that is I am talking about R minus Q. Here S is set of all rational numbers, and we have proved that any point of S is a limit point of S. Now we are going to check that the outsider point of S is a limit point of S or not, that is irrational number this is a limit point of S or not. These irrational numbers are the outsider point. So take any irrational number, say S. Then for any delta greater than 0, suppose this is ns delta, right? This is S minus delta, this is S plus delta. Then these two real numbers, that is S minus delta and S plus delta, between these two real numbers, by density property of R, there are infinitely many rational numbers, right? So this ns delta contains infinitely many rational numbers other than S. So ns delta contains a rational number, that is a point of S other than S. So S is also a limit point of S. So any irrational number is also a limit point of S, right? So in case of script Q, that is set of all rational numbers, any member of S is a limit point of S, along with any irrational number is also a limit point of S. So any real number is a limit point of S in this case. Now if we take our fifth example, if we take S is equal to R minus Q, then by the similar argument we can say that any irrational number is a limit point of S, as well as any rational number is a limit point of S. So any real number is a limit point of S if S is the set of all irrational numbers. Okay, so done everything. And then coming to, this is all our non-empty subset of R. Now coming to our last example, that is empty set. If S is a empty set, so I am writing here, suppose our number is 6. Sixth example, this is S is an empty set, empty subset of R. So suppose x be any arbitrary real number and x is, that is if possible let x be a limit point of S, right? So first we take any arbitrary real number, then we if possible let, that is, then we suppose that x is a limit point of S. Then by the definition of limit point, for every delta greater than 0, nx delta contains, or deleted neighborhood, so nx delta n dash x delta contains a point of S, right? But S is empty, so there is no point in S, so this is absurd, right? So since S is empty, this is impossible case. This above one above line, or this equation, not equation, this line 1, right? So the claim 1 is impossible. So this implies S has no limit point, right? So we cannot get any real number which is a limit point of S. Therefore, S is not a limit point of S. So, in this way, we discuss about the limit points of a set. So, in our next classes, we shall discuss about some other types of points. Keep watching and thanks to everyone.